Hi guys, buongiorno ragazzi, another travel vlog from Italy, and in this video I want to share some kind of a private experience, personal experience. I like traveling, and as you know I do my content in three categories. It's a real estate projects reviews in Dubai, travel, I've been to 61 countries, and places in UAE. This time we are in Tuscany. It's my favorite region in Italy. I've been to Italy, I believe, 7 times, and also I like visiting wineries. Also, it's kind of my hobby. And I visited wineries all over the world. I was in Spain, I was in Cyprus, in Australia, and now in Tuscany, which is famous for its wine industry. And today we are at the Avignonesi winery in Tuscany region. And it's one of the most respected wineries in Montepulciano region, and it's famous for its iconic and premium Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. So in this video I'm going to show you full experience as usual. From the entrance I'll show you the presentations from our host, who will give us a guided tour all over the estate, and then we're going to have a lunch, and for me it's a birthday lunch. So I'm recording this video on May 9. May 9 is my birthday. I'm 35 years old in 2026, May 9. Probably this video will be posted a bit later online when you're watching it. And we're going to have a premium dining experience. It's like a VIP package. So we're going to have a 3-course menu with the desserts and also wine tasting. It's a pairing with the food. So we're going to have, I believe, 8 different wines. They are premium wines, so we have 2 wines with appetizers, 2 wines with the first course, 2 wines with the main course, and 2 wines with the dessert. And what you will see during the tour, the wines, we're going to taste it later at the end. So I'm very excited. Let's go and let's experience it together. Andiamo.
No fee. Well, during the Festa della Vendemmia, we still do it sometimes. Yeah, but it's just for the vibe, you know.
It's like the I Love Lucy of us.
Yeah, right.
We're old enough to remember that.
So of course we don't use it anymore. We just keep it as part of local history. While in this gallery here, you can see the barrels that were originally used for La Tonda experiment. So yeah, so each ring of that round vineyard was vinified and aged in a separate barrel, which is why they are of different sizes, from 12 to 20 hectoliters. However, they're all made of the same type of oak, which comes from Slavonia. Slavonia is a region in Croatia, and we mostly use Croatian oak for our Sangiovese-based wines because it's very neutral and delicate, and it doesn't mask the natural flavors of the wine. And our style of Vino Nobile is to highlight its natural freshness and fruitiness, so we mostly use big barrels like this. While for international grape varieties like Merlot and Cabernet Sauvignon, we use French oak barriques that are way smaller. Normally we keep them on the underground floor of the cellar, but they are currently at the production estate, so unlikely we won't see them today, but they're only 225 liters big, so way smaller than this. And the temperature in the cellar is naturally stable. Sometimes when it gets really hot in July and August, we have to switch on the AC, but only in this part of the cellar because we always open and close the door for the visits. So it might get too hot for the wines. Yet as we go downstairs, you will notice how the temperature drops a little. And the humidity is always stable. They're about 80-85%, while the temperature is between 15 and 17 degrees Celsius. So those are the natural conditions which we do not have to control. Okay, so we go this way, and please be careful of the stairs because the lights are very dim in there too. So in this gallery here you can see the terracotta jars that are more than 150 years old. They were used when this place was still an agricultural institute, and in every jar it says Istituto Veni, so Institute of Angelo Yet they use these jars not to store the wine, but the olive oil.
Oh.
And we keep producing the olive oil. We have about 2,500 olive trees of 5 different varieties. We just do not keep it in terracotta anymore because it's way too porous and not hygienic enough. So we only keep it in stainless steel vats now in the other estates. So since this is the smallest of the estates, we don't have enough space for all the production facilities.
Okay.
So we keep them in the other estates where we have stainless steel vats, concrete eggs, and the barrels of different sizes and different types of wood. And coming back to the olive oil, of course, you will taste it as well at the beginning of your lunch with some homemade bread and focaccia from our kitchen. We call it the library because we keep our old vintages in here. And basically, this is the private collection of the Savaris family. We have about 200 bottles in there. The oldest one dated back to 1990, so 1990. It's a Griffi that you can see on the left side, right here.
So it's like 36 years old, yeah.
Exactly.
So what's the price of the bottle like that on the market?
They're not for sale.
Yeah, but like what's the value?
I asked, and they said that they're like precious, priceless. So yeah, we cannot be sure of the quality of all the bottles.
I was going to say,
Yeah, middle ages. And we now have 2 types of Vin Santo. The traditional white one, made of the same grape varieties that we use for the balsamic sauce, Malvasia and Trebbiano. And then we also have a very special Vin Santo that we make out of 100% Sangiovese, so only red grapes. That's pretty rare, and we call it Occhio di Pernice, or the eye of the partridge, because it has this dark brown color that reminds that of the bird's eye. And we handpick the grapes for both Vin Santo and Occhio di Pernice, typically in mid-September, so it's not a late harvest wine, as the ice wines, for example. It's the regular harvesting time. We select only the best batches and we bring them here to this room, where we put it on the bamboo mats, which you can see on the other side of the room. So basically it looks like this. We'll have more full-bodied wines, like in Gradi Annate, the one that I mentioned that is made of the grapes from different vineyards of ours. And then the famous 1550, the Super Tuscan. And then with the dessert, you will have a glass of the white and the red Vin Santo.
What is in the 50-50? I got a Merlot and something?
Yes, it's half of our Merlot and half of Sangiovese from another winery that is called Le Capannelle. They're located in Chianti Classico appellation.
Okay.
So yeah, since you asked, I will tell you the story of the creation of this wine. So basically, the ex-owners of Avignonesi and Capannelle were close friends, and they had this tradition of having dinners together. And one night in 1988, they had a dinner where Signor Falvo, the ex-owner of Avignonesi, has brought a bottle of Desiderio, which is our 100% Merlot, while Signor Rossi from Capannelle brought his Sangiovese. And at the beginning of the lunch, they were arguing whose wine is better, which is a very common thing for Italian winemakers to do. But at some point of the night, probably after a few glasses, they accidentally mixed up their wines in one glass. And surprisingly, they came up with this perfectly balanced blend of 50% of Sangiovese from Chianti that gave the body, the structure, and the tannins to this wine, and 50% of our Merlot that enriched it with its softness and elegance. And it was such a good match that we never changed the composition of it since 1988. And we keep the tradition of the separate aging, so we age our Merlot here in the barriques that we normally keep in the underground floor for 24 months, while Sangiovese is aged at Capannelle's property in Chianti for 2 years as well, but in big Slavonian oak barrels. And only after 2 years of separate aging, we make the blend that we age for at least 1 more year in a bottle.
Okay, that's wow. Yes. So this is the special balsamic sauce that you produce at the okay. Wow. Okay. Avignonesi. Okay. Nice. Thank you.
This is aged more than 10 years
10 years.
in the small barrel that we have
Okay.
Getaia, and it's made with Trebbiano Malvasia grapes.
Okay, let's start.
So we will start with our white wine that is called Il Marzocco, and that is the name of this stone lion that was the symbol of the House of Medici, so you can find it in many towns across Tuscany. And if, you've already been to Montepulciano, right? So you might have seen it right in front of Palazzo Avignonesi that used to belong to the same family that founded the winery in here. And this wine is made of 100% Chardonnay that we grow in our vineyard in Cortona. We age it for 6 months in 3 different vessels in stainless steel vats. Also a very short passage in the barrels, but mostly we age it in concrete eggs because we wanted it to be less oaky and buttery, and we wanted to add some mineral notes to its finish. So it's a very good, very elegant Chardonnay of 2024. So it's half of Sangiovese from Chianti, from Capannelle, and the other half is our Merlot that we grow in Cortona as well. And it is aged separately. So we age our Merlot in French oak barriques here at this estate, and Capannelle age their Sangiovese at their property for 6 months in stainless steel vats, and only after that we make the blend. It's of 2024, and it's a more complex rosé than the one that you have tasted before the tour. So I suggest that you start with the white, and then once you have the chef's welcome, then you try the rosé. Together with its exact location and the unique number handwritten on each bottle, because it's a very small production.
Wow.
So both of these wines are part of Single Vineyard Wine Project, and they're both made of 100% Sangiovese, and they're both vinified and aged for 18 months in big Slavonian oak barrels, like the ones that we saw in the cellar.
Wow.
The main difference is the soil, because at La Tonda we have mostly the sandy soil, while El Grasso has the soil of the marine origin, which has the blue sodic clay, silt and limestone. And the vintage is also different. La Tonda is of 2020, while El Grasso is of 2019.
Wow.
So La Tonda is the lightest of our single vineyard wines.
What's the retail price of this bottle?
So the regular size is of 120.
120 euro per bottle.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
for a regular size like this.
For regular.
Yeah, for the Magnum I need to check.
Wow, so it's like maybe 200 euro per bottle.
Could be, yeah, because this is our most exclusive wines after the Vin Santo, because it's a very small production. So in 2020 we produced about 2,000 bottles of La Tonda and only 650 bottles of El
650
Grasso.
bottles.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we do not export these wines anywhere. We don't even sell them to any nearby restaurants or wine shops. It's just exclusive treat
Only
for our guests here at this estate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So El Grasso is our Vino Nobile di Montepulciano DOCG, which you can see written right here. And that means that we produce this wine according to all the rules of the regulation, while La Tonda cannot be classified as such because it comes from an experimental vineyard, which does not respect the rules of the density of wines per hectare.
Okay.
So it's not a noble wine. So you can see the color is different, and the flavors and aromas as well. La Tonda is very easy to drink, and we serve it chilled during the summer because it even highlights the characteristics of this wine, so it's the perfect summer red. While El Grasso is between light and medium body, and a little bit more complex mineral with a pleasant smoky finish.
Okay. Thank you. So, La Tonda, Toscana, and El Grasso Vino Nobile di Montepulciano 2019.
So these are the last 2 red wines. This one is called In Grandi Annate, which means during the great vintages, because we produce it not every year, but only during the best years in terms of weather, such was, for example, 2015.
So it's 11 years old.
Yes, exactly. And you will see that from the color. And here we have the selection of the best batches of Sangiovese grapes taken from different vineyards of ours. So it's not a Vino Nobile di Montepulciano because our winemaker wanted to have more freedom and express in it, so we didn't want to stick to the rules of the appellation. which is why the harvesting area is not only within Montepulciano borders, and the aging is not only in Slavonia but also in French barrels, with a total of 20 months. So you will notice.
What's the retail price of this bottle?
This one is 120.
120 euro per
Yeah.
bottle. And what is the production volume of this kind of wine?
It really depends on the year, because we can only produce it in the best years when we have enough yield, and it varies every year. So I will check how many bottles we had.
This one you export internationally?
Not that much. So the single vineyards not at all. These ones may be found somewhere, maybe in the States, but not many bottles and not
I
everywhere.
think in the UAE, in Dubai, I think I never saw this one. Because, for example, Nordic Atlantic Classical, I've been there a few years ago, and I saw this wine in Dubai. But this brand, I think I didn't.
Yeah, Antinoi is a very big winery, and they
They're
have
very commercial, right?
exactly, yes, and we're more of a niche, let's say, even though we're quite big in terms of like the hectares of vineyards, but we're not as commercial. Yeah.
Antinori is considered the biggest one in Tuscany, the biggest one, and the oldest. I think it's from 13th century or something, 14th century.
There's also Castello di Casoli in Chianti that is from the 11th century.
11th,
Yeah. But Antinoi, it's one of the biggest also because they have vineyards not only in Tuscany but in different regions of Italy and even abroad in some other countries. So definitely one of the biggest.
So variety, grape variety, which
100% Sangiovese.
Sangiovese. Well, the smell is different from the previous one. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do appreciate it. Then I will serve you the last but not the least. This is our most famous wine because it's a super Tuscan, called 50-50 or 1550.
The story she explained in the previously in the video. So interesting that the two families, the owners of the vineyards, they mixed the wines, two wines. And
Exactly. Yeah, that happened in 1988, and ever since then we never changed the composition. So it's still 50% of Sangiovese from Capannelle in Chianti, and that gives the body, the structure, and the tannins to this wine, and 50% of our Merlot that enriches it with its softness and elegance. And we age our wines separately. So the Merlot is aged in French oak barriques in this estate for 24 months, while Sangiovese is aged at Capannelle's property in Chianti for 2 years as well, but in big Slavonic barrels. And only after that we make the blend, which we age for at least 1 more year in a bottle. And this one is of 2020.
so 6 years old. And the retail price approximately the same range?
135.
135 euro per bottle.
And here the color is very different, as you can see. It goes more into cherry, and that is thanks to the Merlot that also adds the fruity notes to this one.
Fruitiness, yeah. I'm not a big wine expert, but I love to taste it. It's a great experience.
Thank you, Katarina.
I think this one so far is a number one for red wine. Awesome.
White Vin Santo, made of Malvasia and Trebbiano Toscano, while this is Occhi di Pernice, made of 100% Sangiovese. They're both of 2011, and they are both pretty dark in color because they're both fully oxidized.
Okay.
So this is the white.
Dessert wine, okay. Wow. This is the one you showed us in that barrels,
Yes.
okay.
In the last room, exactly.
That, what, 14 years? It's
Well, minimum of 12,
15, minimum of 12.
but in this case,
15 years, 2011, so 15 years old. Wow.
exactly.
Wow, interesting. Wow, look.
And this is the red one.
Look at that. Wow. Interesting. So that is inside. We can see the parts of that. That's
The sediment, yeah.
okay.
It's very subtle, so you won't even feel it when you taste it. In terms of color, they are almost the same, but in terms of aroma, slightly different. In the white one, you will find some notes of dried apricot, orange peel, orange jam, vanilla, and honey. While in the red one, it goes more into dried fig and plum, caramel, nutmeg, and Christmas spices.
So this is white, this is red, but like visually it looks the same,
Yes.
yeah?
Because they're both oxidized.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay guys, so that's a desert wine. This is the white one. It's 15 years of age. The one I showed you in that small barrels, the small ones. The color. Oh wow. Very interesting. It's very sweet. Like kind of like a liquor or something. Wow. Okay, that's white and then now red. Desert wine. Wow. It's like it looks like a cognac. Look at the color. Oh wow, bellissimo. So nice. Okay guys, and now briefly prices at the shop. Look, the Vino Santo 2005, the desert wine that we had, 200 euro per bottle. Then another one, 230 euro per bottle. Then there is also 380 euro per bottle. Wow, 190. Then we have the small ones, 2010, 16 years old, 70 euro. Then we have 100 euro, 60 and 70. And then the white wines, the 50-50, 135. Wow. That's the main entrance, main gate. It's a reception. Now we'll go that side to check the cellars. That's the main buildings when the owners of the estates stay in. And then after that we'll go to this building and then we're going to have lunch over there. Okay guys, the wine, grapes itself, look at this, so nice, wow. Avignonesi, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Mi piacciono queste bellissime canzoni, il buon cibo e questo posto meraviglioso immerso nell'altro, ragazzi. Sì, andiamo, vado in Italia per motivi di turismo, Avignonesi Winery, Vino Nobile di Montepulciano. Sì, andiamo.